you for joining us today. It's so good to be here with you. I know we received a lot of compliments on our last Coffee with Carolyn and Jason.
Yep.
This week again, we're talking about Veterans Park, and this is a project near and dear to my heart. I'm very excited about it because we, about, I don't know how many, 7 years ago, we looked at that land. We had 17.5 acres left of a 35 acre parcel. Yep. And I wanted to make sure, really, that that land was left in the most natural state it could be. At the same time, we had to find something that drew people to it. So what came to our mind, and the Board of County Commissioners has been great to approve this, is a park that would basically thank servicewomen who have served since the Revolutionary War for their service. And believe it or not, and Jason knows this, there's only 300 statues of women in the United States total, but there's over 5,000 of men. Now, we're not just talking service, but if you look back, traditionally women, quote, didn't seem to serve. But as this park will show, women have served as early as the Revolutionary War. So you want to talk a little bit about the park and the acreage?
You know, it's funny you mentioned it. I didn't even think about how long we've been working on this project and how it's just evolved over time to end up to a really interesting concept, because, you know, there was an amphitheater at one point and a whole developed of that area. Then we wanted to keep it natural, and I think we really got to a good spot. But yeah, they're working on the park now. They're out there under construction.
Moving dirt.
Moving dirt.
Sand.
They're moving material out there right now, and they still have a target date of November 11th. You know, we always
be a soft unveiling.
That's where we'll sit, and I'm glad to hear you say it that way. That's a good way to put it. You know, we have material delivery issues on that project, and we are still in hurricane season, so we've been lucky to this point, knock on wood. But that's the plan, to be out there with a soft opening on November 11th. I just checked today. We have 2 of the statues we believe are completed, but they're still being stored down with the artist. Of the 8 statues that are coming in, and like you said, representatives from wars back from the Revolutionary War to even a representative of somebody who is alive and serving today and actually stationed at Hurlburt. So exciting stuff.
So exciting stuff. So let me just share a little bit about those. Jason will be involved in so much of the landscaping and the design work that will make this park beautiful and an area that we can all be proud of. I believe with all my heart that when this area is finished, that it will be something that could be on the Washington Mall. And let me talk to you a little bit about this. So Margaret Corbin was beside her husband during the Revolutionary War. He was manning a cannon and taking the large stuffer and stuffing it into the cannon, and the cannonball would fire. Well, he was felled in battle. Without blinking an eye, she picked up the stuffer and continued to do that. She also was wounded, and to the day of her death, she didn't die then, she had a right shoulder wound injury. She's buried at West Point for this heroism, really. And so when we decided to go that far back in our history, we went to the 2 chapters, the Choctawhatchee Bay Daughters of the American Revolution and the West Florida Daughters of the American Revolution, and asked them to choose which Revolutionary War figure of female that they would choose. And this is the one that they unanimously voted on.
Right.
Then you go forward a little bit, and we go to the Civil War. Yep. Now, we have a very interesting story there, and I'm going to tell you just a few of them, but I'm not going to share all of them because I don't want to ruin the big surprise. The Union soldier that was chosen was in, of course, a regular Union military outfit, and when wounded, it became apparent that she was a woman because obviously of her wounds, and in addition, she's an African-American female, so her name is Cathay Williams, and we're very excited about honoring her. The last one I will mention, and there's many wonderful stories here, is one of our own, Jackie Corcoran,
right,
who broke the sound barrier just like Chuck Yeager did for women. She was a pilot, but best of all, she's from Defuniak Springs, Jackie Corcoran. Now, what I wanted to additionally mention about this park, it's going to be a public park, a county park.
Yep.
Right?
It's out there adjacent to Marlar Park, so you'll have parking at the convention center. There'll be a boardwalk that goes over an existing retention basin into the plaza area where there's going to be a wall, a memorial wall that's out there, and pavers that we can have people purchase to have engravings out there for honoring their family members if they choose, or just a friend that they would want to honor. Then there will be the 8 statues around a pathway that goes through the Veterans Park area. That pathway is an on-grade sidewalk as well as an elevated Trex board kind of boardwalk, depending on what the terrain does out there. So it really is designed and constructed to kind of flow with the natural area that's out there. We're going to have the flags. The 6 service branches flags will be out there along with the American flag and the state flags in that plaza area. I think it'll be a nice, calm, soothing area.
I do too.
And a tremendous testament.
To that, we're adding a reflecting pond down the road.
That's right.
Where people can go and sit and listen to water. Of course, it's all on the Choctawhatchee Bay anyway, but it's a beautiful little, I call it almost like a grotto area where you can go in and sit and reflect. The thing that is so beautiful about this park is that these statues are life-size bronze statues. They are to the detail. Exact what they should be. I mean, these women that have served, and there's been 5 women who have been on this committee, and a couple of men, and to their collars, to their pens, to their caps, it's exactly as it should be. And I had no idea the significance of all the different military insignia, how important it is, but I have learned a great deal through this process.
Yeah, it's the renderings that we've seen are uncanny.
Unbelievable.
The talent that's out there is amazing, and I think it'll be a tremendous tribute to anybody that walks out there. To be moving to many. And
the one thing I do want to mention is that there is going to be this beautiful wall you mentioned. The wall will not be finished by November 11th.
Right.
We have finally secured an artist. It's the same artist that I'm going to put a plug in here for Marcus Booth up on the corner of Racetrack and Marwald. That beautiful building with the American flag. So we're hiring that same artist to come in and do a rendering. He could not get to us until the end of the year, which is acceptable. That's why I'm saying this is a soft opening, because there's a lot more to come as the year progresses in 2 years, and we'll be adding.
Yeah, and it's not just that portion of it, because as you know, there's the shoreline restoration at Marler Park. There's the phase 2 of Veterans Park, where we're going to incorporate the existing boardwalk that's to the east of where we are. So I think the soft opening is a great way to put it. This is the start, not the ending, and I think it's going to gain a great bit of interest and attention, which it well deserves.
We have wonderful speakers that day. The event will be November 11th. You, the listening audience, are invited. Please bring a woman who has served in the military. If not, just come to honor women. And it'll be at 2 o'clock on November 11th. Open seating. We would love to have you come. Please, there's going to be children. It's a day off from school. We're doing some really interesting things. We're putting, what do you call those, QVC codes?
QR codes. Little scanner codes.
And so you'll be able to take your telephone up to it and learn all about the heroism of these women, which I think is going to be a wonderful educational.
That's a great point. It's not just the history that's presented, but there is the education component of the military side, the history of the women that have served, as well as we grow this, the history of the plannings and information about the nature that's out there at Veterans Park. So it's a real opportunity for an engaging afternoon if somebody wants it.
And the way this is being paid for, I think that's important to mention, is that the tourism development dollars, in other words, those folks who come in and pay bed tax, they get this tax added on, and then that goes to various parts of our county. Right now it goes along the coastline. We're about ready to expand it, and we'll be talking about that next week on Coffee with Carolyn with John Hofstad. I'll put a plug in for next week's. But we're about ready to expand that. But that money then can be used for things like this, or for lifeguards, or for the sheriffs, or roads a little bit, depending.
Plus we have a grant. We got a grant to do some of the shoreline work. So, and that was as a result of the Deepwater Horizon catastrophe. So it's the darkest nights bring the brightest stars.
That's
and we're excited about this.
Well, after we watched, we saw all those Marines in Afghanistan recently that died, and as you saw, there were women among them. So this is a wonderful way for us to thank. We want to thank everybody. We want to thank all the men and women who serve so bravely, and we live in a military community. We have all the services represented here. Marines. We think of Air Force, but we have Marines. We have Army. We have the Rangers. We have the Navy. So this is a way for us to give back, thank our community, and when there's a rainy day or you don't want to go to the beach or you have guests, this is a way for you to come, and I believe this will be a huge marketing tool for our area. As more and more people find out about it, they will make a trip to come here to see this beautiful park. Plus, we're preserving
nature.
This lovely area.
Yeah, it's an amazing piece of property as is, and I think what we're going to do is enhance it with just another element that, like you said, it'll be an attraction.
Yes, I must say that the Audubon Society has identified over 240 birds that migrate through there. So this is a way to keep that all natural. We are not disturbing the rookery, the great horned owls, but it's a great way for you and your family to walk through, see this part of the park where it's educational, and then go over and walk through the natural area as well and enjoy a picnic lunch. So, Jason, anything else you want to add?
No, it's exciting. We'd like to see it move forward. Like you said, I get the pleasure of building it, which is fun for us, but can't wait to see it when it's the soft opening and then see this thing as it continues to grow in the future.
Well, it has been an honor and a privilege to be here at a time such as this, when I was able to give back and see this through, especially on behalf of all the women who have so bravely served our country since the American Revolution. Thanks for joining us, Jason. Thanks for being here again today, and thank you all, and we thank April and Nick for their work behind the scenes to make this happen. I hope that you find these to be valuable. Again, Coffee with Carolyn, same time next week.